I've always wanted to go to an amusement park. That was the first thing Sarah told me. We didn't talk to each other very much, but out of the blue one day, she turned around and told me that. But I would have never imagined what that would lead to. I've had a crush on her since I saw her come into class for the first time. She was new, and people said that her family was pretty eccentric. She also seemed to talk with only 2 people in the entire school. So her talking to me out of nowhere was pretty strange, but I loved it. You just can't imagine how cute she is. That was the beginning of a pretty nice friendship, and after a few months of studying together and going to the movies now and then, I learned that everything people said about her family and her was a lie. I didn't care much about her family possibly being eccentric, but it did make me upset that people would just make stuff up like that. Over time, Sarah repeated to me many times the thing about going to an amusement park. I didn't know why she wanted to go to one so much, but that's how it was, and I wanted to make her happy. A 16-year-old guy like me has no money to buy tickets, let alone airplane tickets. However, what I could do was propose going to an amusement park as the destination for the end-of-year excursion. We were finishing high school, and it was a tradition to do an excursion at the end of the school year, so that was the perfect chance. Thus, one day before class was over, I raised my hand and told my proposal to the teacher and the entire class. Sarah looked at me with hope and anticipation. I felt like a winner, and I would eventually win her heart too. The teacher thought my idea was great, and everyone in the class got excited. And so, we prepared everything and started to sell caps, hoodies, shirts, all so that our parents didn't have to assume all of the expenses. And I don't mean to brag, but I was the best seller, and my parents were pretty impressive. The school year went by, and Sarah and I were practically inseparable now. We did everything together. I hadn't taken the step of asking her to be my girlfriend yet, because I was planning to do it at the amusement park. I wanted it to be special, and that place was special to her. Once everything was ready and the day finally arrived, we all boarded the plane feeling a lot of nervousness, but also excitement. Everything was going great. The hotel was amazing, especially for Sarah, who had never been in one. The food at the buffet was delicious, and the weather was perfect. It felt like I was living a dream. And then came the most anticipated moment, going to the amusement park. When we got in, we couldn't stop looking everywhere. The Ferris wheel, the roller coaster, it was all huge. Seeing Sarah's expression was incredible. She wanted to get on all the attractions, so as soon as we arrived, we got in line for the roller coaster. That was the tallest roller coaster in all of Europe, but the nervousness I felt didn't matter if it helped me win over the cutest girl in the entire school. Or so I thought, because as we went up the stairs, my stomach started to rumble. I started to get pale and get stomach cramps, but I tried to ignore them. How could I tell Sarah that I had to turn back? I couldn't allow myself to do it. I've never enjoyed heights, but I've gotten into amusement park attractions in the past, and nothing wrong happened to me then. Once we were at the last step, my insides started to growl as if I had a fire-breathing dragon inside me. I couldn't stand it anymore, and I farted without wanting to, and it was one of those noisy and very smelly ones too. I was extremely ashamed, and since that was a very long line and I didn't want to give Sarah a terrible impression of me, I pointed at the guy right behind me, and I frowned at him. That was a horrible decision. The entire line started scolding him. A girl pushed him, and he was so unlucky that he fell backward and produced a domino effect on everyone in the line. It was pure chaos, and the ones who couldn't grab onto anything fell over the other. In the end, 4 people were injured, and an investigation was open. I not only ruined Sarah's day, but they closed the park for the rest of the day. My flatulence stank in more ways than one. Does your life suck as well and you want to share it with us? Send us your story to storiesmylifesucks@gmail.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media to find out if you are the protagonist of our next video.